After years of struggling with lifeless urban soil that seemed more like concrete than growing medium, I discovered that creating rich, fertile earth in a small space isn't about having acres to work with. It's about understanding soil biology and maximizing every square inch. The transformation of my 8x10 urban plot from barren hardpan to thriving ecosystem taught me that space limitations can actually work in your favor when building exceptional soil. Urban soils face unique challenges that suburban and rural gardens simply don't encounter. Construction debris, compacted subsoil, contamination concerns, and years of neglect create conditions that seem impossible to overcome. However, these challenging starting points often respond more dramatically to soil building efforts than naturally decent soils, giving urban gardeners the opportunity to create something truly exceptional. The key insight is that urban soil building requires intensive intervention rather than gradual improvement. Traditional composting and amendment methods that work over years need to be compressed into months through strategic layering and biological activation. This accelerated approach turns your space constraints into advantages by creating concentrated pockets of incredibly rich growing medium. Sheet mulching, often called lasagna gardening, transforms terrible urban soil faster than any other method I've tried. Start by laying cardboard directly over existing soil or weeds, overlapping edges by 6 inches to prevent gaps. This suppresses weeds while slowly decomposing to feed soil organisms. The cardboard acts as a barrier that prevents weeds from competing with your soil building efforts, while allowing beneficial organisms to migrate upward. So you'll want to layer nitrogen-rich materials like kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, and fresh grass clippings alternately with carbon-rich browns, such as dried leaves, paper, and small wood chips. Each layer should be, about 2 to 4 inches thick, with the whole pile reaching somewhere between 18 to 24 inches in height. This might seem a bit excessive in a small space, but trust me, the pile will compress down to about 6 inches within 3 months, all while creating incredibly rich soil. The secret weapon in urban soil building is, honestly, just actively cultivating beneficial microorganisms that break down organic matter and make nutrients available to your plants. You can create a simple compost tea using a 5-gallon bucket, a handful of finished compost, and, an aquarium air pump. Brew this mixture for about 24 to 48 hours, then dilute it 1-to-1 with water before applying it to your soil layers. This biological inoculation, it really accelerates decomposition while establishing the complex microbial networks that characterize healthy soil. In urban settings where natural soil biology has been disrupted, this artificial introduction of beneficial organisms can actually compress years of natural succession into a single growing season. Urban gardeners, really have to think three-dimensionally when building soil. Raised beds and container systems let you stack quality growing medium above tough native soil, while still keeping good drainage and aeration. It's super important to build your beds at least 12 inches deep so you give roots plenty of room to develop and allow soil organisms to thrive. So, to create a layered approach in your raised beds, start with a coarse drainage material at the bottom. Then, add the lasagna layers we talked about earlier, and finish it off with a high-quality planting mix on top. This kind of vertical stratification actually mimics natural soil horizons, while giving you immediate growing space right above your longer-term soil improvement efforts. For those of you working with the smallest urban spaces, large containers can actually become their own little soil ecosystems if you manage them carefully. Use containers that are at least 20 gallons in size. That way, you get enough thermal mass and water retention, which smaller pots just can't provide. Fill them with 1/3 compost, 1/3 good topsoil, and 1/3 coarse organic matter like coconut coir or aged bark. This mix really sets you up for healthy, productive plants. The key to container soil success really lies in maintaining biological activity through regular additions of organic matter, and also avoiding the use of synthetic fertilizers that can disrupt those vital microbial communities. Top dress your containers about once a month with compost, and water with diluted compost tea to help maintain that living soil ecosystem. the one that produces truly exceptional plant growth. Urban soil building is, honestly, an ongoing process that requires different approaches throughout the year. Fall represents the ideal time for adding organic matter, since decomposition continues through winter while spring planting isn't disrupted. Winter protection using row covers or cold frames maintains soil organism activity during those cold months, which really accelerates spring readiness. Spring calls for gentle cultivation that incorporates winter's decomposition without disrupting your established soil structure. And summer maintenance focuses on mulching to retain moisture and continuing the steady addition of organic matter that feeds your soil ecosystem all year round. Ready to transform your urban growing space into a soil powerhouse? These techniques work in any size space and create results that will, honestly, amaze your neighbors. Subscribe to Soil Doctor for more soil building secrets that turn urban challenges into gardening advantages, and share this guide with fellow urban growers who deserve incredible harvests from small spaces.